We are on.
All right. Hello, everybody out there. Hello, LifeCo friends. We'll wait just a few seconds here and see how many other people can join us. And yeah, I'm excited to be here live at the LifeCo. My name is Michelle Schoenfeld, and I'm a well-being alchemist. I've also had the pleasure to work with the LifeCo for several years now, not only as a wellness therapist, mindfulness teacher, and actually a lot of different capacities. I'm a wellness expert by trade, I should say. And today, I am so excited to sit down with the founder of the LifeCo, live in Bodrum, Turkey, Ersin, Pamuksüzer, to discuss a brand new program. We can't wait to share it with you. So, I know that I love what you've created here at the LifeCo. And people who are tuning in obviously know what a phenomenal wellness and well-being center this is. And now you have another tool in the toolbox, another resource that you're about to roll out, correct?
True.
Yeah, so and it's called Welltogether.
Yes, welltogether is our new program.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we have been, running this place over 70 years. What we saw, that people are coming and going, and the biggest missing part is we are not nearby, we are not close to them when they are at home, when they are not here. So we thought that nowadays everything is so complicated, the world is full of chaos, crisis. So we said, let's move nearby, let's go to their home. Welltogether is a kind of 365 days available wellness platform to our friends and members to have a connection with like-minded people and moderated by LifeCo, run by LifeCo. So you should be tapping all the wellness resources over this community. It's a community with, only one purpose, 360-degree or holistic, integrative wellness.
I love that. If anything COVID taught us, to be honest, is that we need wellness and well-being wherever we are.
Exactly.
That it's just not always realistic that you can go to a center or that you can travel. And maybe you're working, maybe you're home, but everybody wants wellness. Everybody needs access to really good, high-quality wellness and the support that comes along with it. So I think this is a really great platform that you're doing. And so the Welltogether resource is something that people sign up for, they join, is it paid? What kind of a program is it?
Yeah, it's they need to register themselves, sign up for that, and it's a free program. Also,
Wonderful.
It's one of the purposes. You know, the places we are running have limited capacity. So like we can host maybe 10,000 people a year. Say if we open new places, go up to 15, 20, but the need is millions and hundreds of millions,
So true.
etc. So we thought that, okay, let's start a new platform where we can serve people where they are, and we could serve millions. That to do that, we started the whole project as a free resource. Of course, on the long run, if you are going to have one-to-one consultancy, etc., that may be paid. But at the beginning, everything will be free.
That's wonderful.
And so the idea is easy to access, easy to get whatever need you have, the help, assistance for a better feeling, better life.
It's great. For those of you who are watching this now who maybe have not experienced the LifeCo, it really is a phenomenal detox and wellness center. They've won like top detox in the world several times in a row. But it's in Bodrum, Turkey, which is great. Phuket, Thailand, Antalya.
Antalya, yeah.
And it's like such a dream to be able to go and experience one of these centers. But, you know, again, realistically, like not everybody can. Or maybe you can go once or twice a year. But you want to have access to wellness every single day. And we all feel off balance sometimes. That's what I loved about this program when you first told me about Welltogether and did I want to come on board and work with you on this, is that even the best of us, right? I'm a wellness expert. I'm vegan naturally. I meditate. I practice mindfulness. But I can still get off balance. We all can get off balance. And maybe your space is messy around you, or maybe you're not eating healthy, or your mind, you just can't get it clear. And to have a resource that you can just go to online anytime you want. And whether it's the library, there's going to be a resource library, right? People can read articles and books and programs like that online. There's going to be, I think you shared with me earlier, there'll be other professionals in wellness.
Exactly. So we will have different kind of activities under the welltogether. So first of all, we will have a community which will help each other to keep interact with wellness. You know, like you say, nowadays we have a special, say, era where we have all these triggers around us. Not only food triggers, not only commercial triggers, it's also mental ones. We have so many things happening in this world. We have inflation, we have war, we have human trafficking, we have all kind of problems just happening around us. And it's very difficult to keep yourself, especially when you have this internet, web, etc., and you have access to all the activities, all the happenings worldwide.
It's so true. And you know, in the day of like the 24-hour news cycle, right? You just can't escape it sometimes, especially depending on what you do, you know, for a living, or if you have children around, or whatever your lifestyle may be. Whether it's Instagram or Facebook, or actually watching like CNN or something, you can't escape being bombarded with all these kind of like negative or difficult situations. Never mind what's in our water and the lotions we put on and what we put in our body. So to have a resource, if you're like, I need a little touch up. Like, I just need to get my mind clear. Let me go on to welltogether and see, like, who's teaching a meditation, or maybe there's a recorded mindfulness session I can sit and listen to bring myself back to balance. I love that. And I, you know, over the 4 or 5 years that I've worked with you here at TheLifeCo, I've really met some fantastic therapists and healers from around the world. And it's wonderful because it's not one size fits all. You know, is the diversity. And so I like what you have said, that welltogether is going to have a very diverse community of not only healers and therapists like myself, but also all of the people, all of you. You guys want to join, like sign up. There'll be a link at the end of the webinar, of course. You can go ahead and sign up. And again, as Ersin said, it's free. Like, you're crazy not to. If nothing else, just join in, because we're pack animals, right? We like clubs. There's a reason that like people like to join sports teams, or the Rotary, or garden club, or whatever it is. People like to come together, and it's not really realistic in our everyday life sometimes that who surrounds us is in the same vibration we are.
Exactly.
You know, we have like a wellness where we are, like, look, we're drinking our green juice, you know, we don't really drink alcohol, I'm vegan, but it doesn't mean that my kids are, or that my best friends are, or that my neighbors are. And so to have a community like welltogether that you can tap into anytime you want and find like-minded individuals, so you don't feel alone. That's another thing I think COVID taught us, is that we want to feel connected. You know, we want to feel connection.
I agree with you, because, you know, I've grown up in a community of 300,000 people in Istanbul, in Turkey. And during 1960s, 70s, we didn't have any psychologists or psychiatrists in the region, because the people was taking care of each other. So these communities, you know, it's so important.
It's a lost art.
They should exactly. They should help each other. And then you have we call it wounded healers. People who heal themselves can heal others. It's easier. So
it's
that's
so
why,
true.
Yeah. So it's why I believe it's so important that we have the community, we have all kind of diversity, all kind of people into this, and then we have online 7/24.
Well, you're a good example, because you practice what you preach.
Exactly.
Like, I think you look younger now than you looked 15 years ago. So obviously this is working. And it's true, right? Exactly. And I myself, I have my cancer journey, and, you know, went through a really difficult time. And if it wasn't for programs and really finding alternative healing. You know, the whole mind, body, soul isn't something you can just go ask your doctor about usually. You know, so something like this where you can find what resonates, because different things resonate with different people, and there's going to be so much in this resource library. I'm really excited about that. So let me ask you this, because people might be wondering, like, okay, well, there's a lot of online wellness. What makes WellTogether different than the other wellness communities out there?
Yeah, first of all, like you mentioned, we have about 17 years hands-on experience on healing people. So we have about 60 to 90,000 people who has been passing through our system for feeling well. And we have also the holistic approach and trying to address the root cause, trying to give a kind of complete solution. So I think it's very valuable, and also very important that we try to keep ourselves up to date with all the, say, science, but also traditional methodologies, traditional medicine, traditional, say, healing alternatives. And also a lot of platforms are only focusing on a part or a solution of which they promote. But in our case, we say we need to build up the wellness in a pillar, in a 4-pillar basis. We need to have diet and cleansing as a first pillar.
Yes.
We need to have mental wellness as a second pillar. We need to have exercise, moving our body. And then we have the environment and the healing environment. And finally, we need to also add a kind of natural medicine to speed up the healing. So the LifeCo approach is combining all these bits and pieces to end up with a complete solution, complete and that's very important. You know, we, like you mentioned before the session, that body, mind and spirit,
yes.
that's a combined, fully integrated, fully interworking
It's so true.
systems. So
And
we should keep them flowing
yes.
properly, aligned with each other.
And the mind's ability to heal is like, we haven't even scratched the tip of the iceberg on what our mind can do to heal. Like, we know placebo effect, right? Like, placebo effect is a perfect example. People take a medicine, they think it's real, it's not, it's sugar, they get better. Super simple example. But there's so many examples, there's so many scientific research studies that show how the mind can heal. But you're not going to learn about that necessarily from the doctor.
You know,
And then you have the detox, right? Where our organs, cleaning our organs. Why don't you chew when you're doing like a green juice? Well, because you want all the energy to go into cell repair. And so that's where you are. It's like, okay, well, I'm not there, but I want to learn about mindfulness.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little crazy right now with work and things are going on and I don't know what to do. So I'm going to log on to this and learn a little bit about mindfulness. I already know about diet, you know.
It's right. You know, the highest benefit of having the mind-body, mind-healing connection. You know, even if you forget the placebo effect or the real impact on healing the mind.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have a say, positioned mind, if you are into the stress, if you are into anxiety, if you are into the depression, so what will happen? Your body will be always in fight and flight.
Yeah.
Then healing will never take place.
Right. Because cortisol is going to always
That's
be
why
out
I
there.
always say, like, if you are fighting for healing, so you need to make sure that you have an environment where you can have a clear mind.
Yeah.
Like, you can't work in a bank as a risk manager and get your breast cancer healed, because early morning you wake up, you are into the following the risks, following the dollar, following the South African rand, whatever it is, all kind of Fed and everything else. So that's why it's very important, like you say, we should be focusing on having a peaceful mind,
Yeah.
hand in hand with the healing process.
So for people who are thinking, okay, I'm still not exactly sure what I'm getting, right? So obviously they can click the link and they can see all the benefits. There's discounts at TheLifeCo, there's webinars, there's other things that you'll get. You can read that. I won't say all those right now, but there are some really great value-added benefits to joining, and it's free, right? We already said it's free, so like, why not? And then when you come to the centers, you'll reap the rewards. So go ahead and sign up for sure. But if you're still not exactly sure, if you weren't exactly sure, like, what's there? There's going to be online resource. They can read articles. Is there going to be any videos or live access?
Exactly. You know, the whole thing is, when I started my wellness journey 2002, so I was coming from nowhere. I didn't know what was wellness. For me, wellness was drinking good cognac.
Yeah, your probiotic, you said.
your digestive aid, the cognac was like that. And then, you know, when I entered to this, I get confused because there are so many wellness offerings.
Yes.
I don't know which vitamin C, which whatever it is.
Right.
And then by that time, I went to a gentleman in San Francisco, and I said, I'm confused. I go to these supplement shops. I don't know what to get. And he said, look, get something they call whole food. So whole food supplements, which is the supplement as it is in the nature. It's not.
And I'm going to stop you for a second here. So for those of you who are listening in the United States, so I also have a podcast, You Lost Me at Namaste, in 100 countries. Ersin's been on it. But in the United States, Whole Foods is a chain store, and that's not what we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about whole food, like actual real food.
Real food as a
yeah.
supplement. So, yeah.
So don't run out to Whole Foods store.
Yeah, exactly. Whole Foods store is another story because I know how it started and how it grown up.
We're talking about whole actual
food for your body. It became so
body.
Commercial now. It's
yeah.
good store, but when I say whole food supplement, I mean that supplement is not heated, supplement is not manipulated, it's organic, it's not really as it is in the nature.
Right.
So that's the right stuff. And also, you know, the other things, like there are so much confusion, and we were discussing, for example, if you should have ozone before wheatgrass enema or wheatgrass enema after ozone. So all these things, you know, you need to put in a perspective, get a good guidance. So welltogether will be a kind of guiding party into this, a kind of coaching, a kind of, but this will be empowered, I mean, moderated and supported by us, but it will be a lot helped by people like yourself. Because you invested into this.
Yes.
You know, we people invest in different things. Like I learned so many things last 20 years, but now it's the time that I share with other people.
Right, emotional investing with what we know.
Giving away.
Absolutely. I think that's really important. And so for people who join it, I'm guessing they'll be part of the community themselves. They can also, there'll be like some maybe chat rooms where people can share ideas and kind of explain what their wellness journey has been and like learn from each other.
Yeah.
It's meant to be interactive, correct?
It will be interactive,
Yeah.
it will be educating, it will be, I mean, we will run challenges, say together, like for example, we will start with Michelle, 21 days, whatever, ketogenic challenge, or immune boost challenge, etc. So maybe hundreds of people will do the same things, and you will share your recipes daily. You will be there.
That.
Yeah, so you will be just sharing your know-how, and maybe you tell them how to prepare the things, etc. Of course, we will help as a LifeCo. Like we started with an app called WannaWell. That app.
WannaWell.
So that's an app helps people to build up good habits. So like for example, now we are going to create 21-day menu for recipes for diabetes type 2 management.
Which I think is great. You, this past year, had some of these 21-day challenges.
Yes.
And I did share them with my audience as well. Because I think, like I did the 21-day alcohol-free experiment. I've had friends who've done the 21 day, like dairy free, right? There's certain things you can do. And the ones TheLifeCo has done, I think are great because you want to be part of something.
Exactly.
And then you're like held accountable.
Exactly.
Right? You're held accountable.
And here, for example, you will have other people sharing with yourself your experiences, you share with them, and they will be guided by TheLifeCo or by yourself, who knows what they are doing, etc. So it will be this type of experiences, and also we will have courses, education, and, webinars, speakers, and questions and answer sessions. So we will create a kind of really two-way working wellness channel.
So we're launching this now. We're about to roll it out. That's why we're coming to you now with this program.
So it's a very early stage.
Yeah.
I know that there's a bit or a very long way to go.
But you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So why not be like a charter member and be in this first year of this program? I think it's phenomenal. And also like, obviously Ersin and I, we're like real people. We live a real life.
Exactly.
And it's really all about balance, right? Life is about balance. And so, for some people doing a 21 day, I use the example alcohol-free challenge, that might be great. And at the end of the 21 days, they might go back to drinking. They might not. They might monitor and realize they don't want it. And that's for anything. Whether it's eating meat or it's dairy or it's meditation or it's yoga. The idea is that you can come into this, try something, see how it improves your life, help you along with your wellness journey, and then decide what's for you. If it works, great, keep going. And if it doesn't work, try something else.
All this thing, like you say, the ambition of ourself is living well.
Yes.
And being happy. So that's a balance. You are living well and you are in balance. So of course the life is full of triggers. You will be off balance. And then the idea is when you are off balance, you don't go too much off and come back quick.
Exactly.
So wellness, coping with all this toxic word, and having wellness means to learn how to survive in this world and how to come back to the balance as soon as possible, how to not divert from the balance too much.
So that leads me to a question, because we all know that, and I talk about this all the time, that we're the happiest when we're in alignment and we're in balance. That's when we're the happiest, right? So what do? You travel all around the world. You're running multiple centers. I know that you are a wellness entrepreneur. You have a lot of other businesses as well. So what do you do for your own wellness to bring yourself back to balance?
Yeah, first of all, I apply to me and they preach to everybody else also. You need to have a routine of basics. Like, for example, my basic is a good sleep. I do everything for having a good sleep. Like, I have up to 30-40 milligram of melatonin every night to have a perfect sleep. I prepare myself for sleep. I don't eat late. I eat late as 6 o'clock. And then all this is, sleep is one thing I do. Second is moving my body. Like every morning I spend about 20-30 minutes for getting a flexibility around my body and getting some kind of energized start to the life. And then it's all about managing the different type of offerings or triggers of life. You go, I go, now I know that you will go for a dinner and I will go for a flight.
Exactly.
What will happen? They will push us this and that. Now we need to know, we need to be aware to make the right choices, to collect, being there socially, but not being toxically offended. So we need to get ourselves in there. We need to survive this environment. So like for me, life is being in balance. Like you said, we live our life, so I'm a 90% vegan. So I eat 2-3 times a year meat, maybe every month, once or twice fish. I eat weekly cheese, etc. So I eat everything.
Right, that's your balance.
That's
what
my
works for
balance.
your
But
body.
the problem is,
Yeah.
or the good side is, I don't abuse it. I don't do that over. So I
Yes.
just do in the, say, limit of good enough.
Yeah. I myself, over the last 8 years, I was pretty strict plant-based for 8 years. And this last year, I've also implemented just a little bit. No dairy or meat yet, but just a little bit more I've brought in.
Yeah.
And, again, it's balance. It's
Exactly.
listening to your body, being in tune with your body. I like that. I try to get a good night's sleep myself. One of my favorite things to do for when I am off balance, or just to keep myself in balance, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction.
Okay.
And that what we focus on expands.
Very nice.
So when you wake up in the morning, it's so important to get your mindset positive before that internal dialogue. On a great day, you don't worry about it. You're on vacation, you don't think. But in real world, to wake up and think of 3 things that you're just so incredibly grateful for, or to look around the room or whatever you're going to do and find 10 things that make you happy. Every time you meet somebody new, think of 10 things you like about them, or you're on your way to work, 10 things you like. It's so important to redirect your mind and make your default positive, because we all go down that spiral of negativity sometimes. And for me, I don't get off balance with my diet so much, or my exercise. I'm pretty active, but I get off balance with my mind. I'm a Capricorn.
Yeah.
My mind can go crazy. I'm worried about things that haven't happened yet. So for me, it's bringing it back to that positivity, gratitude. That's a big one for me.
It's a very, very important point you just raised up, because being well, you're having a good sleep, eating good, etc., moving yourself, it's all good, but that's only 50% of your wellness. The other 50% is definitely coming from the mind side.
Yes, I agree.
Your mental wellness. Your mental wellness is so important, having a positive mindset and positive approach to the life will solve a lot of problems, that will make you even protect you for eating or abusing or
It boosts your immune system. It gives you energy.
Also, a lot of people eat because of emotional eating.
Right, it's true.
Emotional eating means they are mentally disturbed. They are mentally not well, off balance. So that's why your positive approach, keeping yourself well, balanced mentally, will also take you away from the toxic food.
Right, it's so true. And what I like about this Well Together that we're talking about, this new community platform, is that you can be real world. I have a plant-based diet. I'm a therapist. I talk about wellness. But that doesn't mean I don't occasionally eat French fries and Oreos. Those are also plant-based. It doesn't mean it's good for you, but it's moderation. Bring yourself back to balance. The other thing you mentioned before is it's so important who you surround yourself with, right? Because we pick up on the energy of the people around us, and people start telling a bad story, then everybody around starts telling a bad story. Somebody starts complaining, everybody starts complaining. And sometimes in our life, we can't necessarily distance ourselves from these people, even if we want to, because we love them, we live with them, we work with them. But coming to this Well Together is a mental break as well. Not just helping you with what you're putting in your body or intermittent fasting, but finding other like-minded individuals that maybe you want to vent. Maybe you want to vent a little bit, and then somebody will say, oh, you know what works for me? This is what works for me. Or, oh, did you read this article? Check out this article. So it's going to be a really nice interactive community, but it's dependent on you guys. It's dependent on you signing up and joining this whole...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This will only happen if we all help each other, if we feel the movement.
Exactly.
If we get all this positive approach into the movement, into our life, into our Well Together friends' life. So it's very important that we come together,
Absolutely.
we are well together, and we move ahead with our wellness, with clear head, and just high energy, everything else.
Well, the more we can share with each other, the better everybody will be. And thank you, Ersin, so much for putting this together. Thank you for
Michelle.
the LifeCo. It's life-changing for me, for sure.
Lovely.
And I love that you're continuing to bring new products to the market to help everybody else on their wellness journey. So
thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Namaste. All right. Thank you, everybody who is on there still. I really appreciate you joining. There will be a recorded that we can share later.
Yeah, we share.
Yeah, exactly. And I may even record it and put it on the podcast. So if you want to hear it again. But if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Again, Ersin, Pamuksüzer, TheLifeCo. There's a lot of links that I will share. So that's it on my end. But thank you, everybody, for joining in the U.S. and around the world.
Thank you.
Yeah.